Personal protection, executive protection, they're good family dogs. They normally have a very, unlike herders, they have an off switch, genetically speaking. It's having a balance dog. You definitely don't want a loose cannon in that aspect. Make sure you go to a kennel that has proven prospects and puppies and adult dogs in sport that have titles in the various sport that you might want to compete in. To ask them to work when you need them. When you're looking for your next dog, don't get caught up on a kennel. Look for a program that's breeding for the purpose that you want your next dog to do. We were training at High Power Winchester. We had a lot of good prospects for working, and these people show up at Cleveland for training. We had some really nice puppies. We had several litters that we were evaluating. Some of them showed really well. They showed the genetic drives that we would want for either sport or protection. We also had some really nice young adults that with a little bit more reps, we'll definitely start being able to do more scenario-based protection and sport and whatever venue the individual person would like to go into. When I'm evaluating a puppy, for instance, I'm more looking at the confidence of the puppy. Is the puppy chasing the rag? Is the puppy looking at the man? Does the puppy want to catch the item that I'm using and such? When we're looking at a Corso specifically as a prospect, there is going to be a little bit of aloof, there's going to be a little bit of defense, but we're going to try to focus that, and also the dog can bring a little bit of genetic prey. We want to focus that in on sleeves and the man for personal protection, depending on what venue you're going to. If you're going to sport, if you're going to purely personal protection, then we would focus that aloof, that defense, that prey that the dog genetically has. It's looking the way that you would ask your dog to sit or heel is the way that it sees bite work. The bite work to them is it's a job to do, and my owners asked me to do this job, so I'm going to do it to my fullest ability. But when I'm not being asked to do it, I need to be neutral and not look at the world as there's a threat around the corner. We don't need the dog making a decision to bite somebody when it's not at the appropriate time. Sport sometimes is a little bit more on the aspect of it gets away from some of that nature that they genetically were bred for originally. To mitigate the liability of having a dog that does really enjoy biting, you want to really focus on doing obedience and building the dog up to take away some of that, decisions. A dog does have its own brain, so we want to have the control to be able to say, hey, this is not the time and place. I'm asking you to heel, I'm asking you to sit, I'm asking you to down, I'm asking you to be in public or such. So there's a time and place for you to be used at that capacity of personal protection. But also on the other spectrum is we want the dogs to be obedient and only biting when we're asking them to. I find that a lot of kennels, sometimes either if they don't have the ability or if they get kennel blind, they're not evaluating, or they don't have the ability to evaluate if the dog is a good companion dog, a good show dog, or a good personal protection or sport. I admire that High Power takes the time and they invest to evaluate the attributes that it takes to make a good companion dog, to make a good show dog, to make a good protection dog. And I would highly encourage everybody that's looking to get a puppy to do your research, make sure that the breeder that you are using, if you want a companion dog, go to a good companion breeder that is taking the time to make sure that their puppies are stable, their adult dogs are stable, and they're living a good lifestyle in that aspect. And also with the protection dogs, if you're looking for a good protection dog, make sure that you're looking for, if it's either sport or personal protection, make sure if you're looking for a sport dog, and it's very important to find a good breeder that does health testing and knows what they are producing and doesn't try to false advertise that, hey, I only do companion dogs, but then try to push them as a protection dog, vice versa, or even a show dog. If you're looking for a show dog, I think you invest in a kennel that has multiple grand champions and champions, so you have that genetic behind the puppy or the adult.